Why would a young man in his 20s submit himself to 7 days of brutal torture, including his own crucifixion, in one of Egypt's most notorious prisons? Native Egyptian and former Muslim Majid el-Shafi was sentenced to death for his outspoken devotion to Christianity. Today, he's a human rights advocate and founder of One Free World International. Were you surprised by your own conversion?
I fought it every step in the way.
Really?
I fought it. You tell me. I'm a man. I had everything. I was from well-known family. I was living in a villa. I have my education. I have my future. I have my friends. I have everything that any man can wishes. But I did not have my God. And without him, life is not worth living.
What happened after you went public as a Christian, or after you were outed? What was your family's response? What was the government's response? How much trouble did you get into?
In August 15, 1998, I was arrested 1:30 in the morning. I was in my office. I was arrested. 5 soldiers, 2 officers, they came, they arrested me. They took me to police station. It's called the Zogli police station. It's behind the Egyptian parliament. They told me, we know everything about you. We know what you did, but we don't know the rest of your team. I told them, I don't know what team and what organization, and if you know everything about me, why are you asking me? They told me, you want to play tough? We can play tough. I told them, tough is my middle name. You don't need to worry about that. I was taken to Abu Zabal prison, and for the people who doesn't know what is that, is what we call in Egypt, hell on earth. And you will not see this information on the CNN or BBC. 25% from the space of this prison is underground. And that's where they torture you. And I was there for 7 days. And every day is a higher level of torture if you didn't speak. So day number 1, they shaved the hair of my head. They put my head in cold and hot water. So the system here that they would torture you for 3-4 hours, give you rest between 20 minutes, 3-4 hours, rest 20 minutes, and they carry on the rest of the day. The officers that they are torturing you, they are not, you cannot see their faces. They always wearing a mask. They call each other by numbers, not by names. So you don't know their names, you don't know their face. They put me back again to my cell in day number 1. They told me to tell us the name of your friends. I told them quite honestly, I enjoy the cold and hot water. And I'm very handsome without hair. Pastor, I kept the style a little bit, as you can see.
It looks good. It looks good.
And day number 2, they hang me upside down. They burn me with cigarettes. They beat me with everything in their hands. I couldn't remember much from day number 2. I remember that they was grabbing me from my leg back again to the room, dragging me to my cell, and I can see the traces of blood behind me. And they put me in the cell, and they told me, do you know what will be your torture next day if you didn't speak? And I said, I'm listening. They said, we release 3 dogs to attack you. These are dogs trained. They are normally German Shepherd or Doberman. They are trained by the authority, K9 unit, basically to torture people. Now, what you do if you are in my place? You are underground. You are bleeding. You have no even window. And next day, you know that you will feed 3 dogs. So I prayed. That's what you do. I prayed. And I told him, Lord, I want to thank you for your gift on the cross. I want to thank you that you died for our pain and our sin and disease. I don't regret believing in you. And even if you give me another life, I would do the same thing. But I only have one request from you. Kill me before tomorrow morning. See, the problem, Pastor, that you don't know how strong you are. I always say Christians like bag of tea. You don't know how strong they are until you throw them in hot water. So I don't know. I'm afraid that under heavy torture, I will say the name of my friends, and this will kill thousands of people.
That's all they wanted from you was information.
That's correct. So I
And-
prayed, and I said, take me home before tomorrow morning, from ash to ash, from dust to dust. Next morning, I woke up. Did you ever wake up in the morning, you didn't know if that's a good news or bad news? My room is very dark, so I found the door open, and there was a red light in the corridor, so the light was shining inside my room. And I can hear another door open on the other side, and I can see a shadow of 3 dogs getting closer and closer to my room. And you can hear their noise. You know, when you have big dogs, the way they breathe, the way that... So I went and I sat down in the corner. I put my back between 2 walls. And I sit down in a way that I protect my back. I put my knee on my chest, and I covered my face with my own hand. What you're trying to do is, or what I was trying to do, that I was trying to expose the outside flesh to the damages or to the injuries, and instead of the neck, the heart, the face. So you try to protect your important organs, per se.
Sure.
Now, we don't learn this in the school. This comes to you as something, survivor mechanism. So I went and I sit down this way, and I can hear the dogs getting closer and closer until I know that they are in my room. I can hear them breathing. I can feel them. And I waited for pain. I waited for agony. And as I'm not feeling anything, I start to remove my hand a little bit to see what's happening. And that's what I saw, Pastor. The 3 dogs sitting around me, none of them moved one single step.
Wow.
Not one
Sounds
step.
familiar.
So the soldiers
A
and the
little bit
officers,
of
the soldiers and the officers took the belt and started to beat the dogs to attack, to beat them.
Wow.
And I remember, and I don't want to get emotional, I
okay.
remember I'm looking at the feet of this dog, his feet. And from the strength of their beating, the dog trying to hold on the ground so he does not lose his balance. And I'm thinking, what's making this dog not obeying? All what he needs to do to bite, and this pain will be stopping. So the officers and the soldiers said, maybe it's something wrong with the dog, with the dogs. Go get me another set of 3 dogs. Another set of 3 dogs sit in the same position, but the middle dog took a step forward and he licked my face. The officers and the soldiers got the same message that I got, that maybe I'm alone, but I'm not lonely. They took the 3 dogs, they closed the door. I didn't hear from them the rest of the day. Day number 4, a big, strong man, all muscly, officer number 27, came, opened the door, very angry, very upset. Said, listen, I'm not scared of you. I told him, you're the one who's torturing me. I'm the one supposed to be scared of you. Of course you're not scared of me. He said, you tell me the name of your friends, I give you everything that you need. You want money, I give you money. You want brand new car, I give you brand new car. You want bigger house, I will give you bigger house. You want beautiful girls, I will give you beautiful girls. Whatever you want, I will give you. Pastor, how many people ever been offered that? Everything that your flesh wants. Everything that your flesh wants. So I looked at him, I told him, wow, that's a great deal. I will take it. But first, even if I want to give you the name of my friends, I don't have the energy to tell you because you've been torturing me for the last 3-4 days. I told him, go get me dinner first, and after that we'll talk together. He said, whatever you like to eat. I told him, shish kebab. I went, I sat down, I ate. He told me, now you tell me the name of your friends. I told him, cup of tea first, and after that we'll talk. Come on now, man. He went, he brought the best cup of tea. I sit down, I drink. He told me, now you tell me the name of your friends. I told him, I cannot tell you all the names because I will not remember them. But I will give you the name of our leader. You can catch him, and he will give you all their names. He said, the leader? I thought that you are the leader. I told him, no, sir, I'm just a servant. He said, Okay, give me the name of your leader. I told him the name of our leader, Jesus Christ. If you can catch him, catch him. Officer number 27, he punished me 2 punishments. The first punishment that he slapped my face. And he was a big man, and I was standing in the middle of the interrogation room. That I hit the wall. That's how strong is him. I always make joke about it, though. I always say it was my first time I fly without aeroplane. It's a brand new meaning for free air miles. But I would tell you something, Pastor. For the people who's listening to us right now, they will wonder, how come he's joking about it? How come he's laughing about it? And I tell them, we have to laugh. Because what officer number 27 didn't know, that they can break our body, but nobody can destroy our spirit. He didn't know that today I would be talking to a pastor in Texas and not ashamed of what's happened, but talking about it in victory. And that's true faith.
Yeah. What was his second punishment?
The second punishment that they took me to another dark room in a cross shape, and they crucified me for 2 days and a half. They took off my clothes. They crucified me for 2 days and a half. They made a cut in the back of my left shoulder to the bones, and they put salt and lemon in the open wound. And
what do you mean they crucified you?
They tied, so you're completely naked. You're standing on the floor, but there is a piece of wood in cross shape, and they tied your neck, your arm, your back, your waist, your leg. You cannot move, and even if you try to sleep, the tie in your neck will choke you. So you have always to keep in a straight form, and it's the worst torture you can ever imagine. And after the 3rd day, they asked me if I tell the name of my friend. I refuse. So they made a cut in the back of my left shoulder to the bone with a knife, and they put salt and lemon in the wound. Mercy from God. I lost my conscience. When you are under heavy torture, you lose your conscience. Your nervous system collapses. Mm-hmm. I ended in the hospital for 3 months, police hospital. After that, they put me in house arrest for 11 months. And they give me the death penalty. They took me to court-martial, and they present me to court-martial. It was 1-day court, no lawyer, no nothing. And they accused me. They charged me with 3 charges.
You had a family full of lawyers, as you said earlier. Did anyone come to your defense?
My uncle went to the court-martial, and he asked from the judge that he give me the death penalty so he can wash or clean the family name from the shame that I caused him.
I'm sorry. Your uncle went to the judge and asked for the death penalty.
Yes.
Did you know that at the time? Did you find that out later?
It was in front of me, Pastor. I was in the court.
Jeez.
It was in front of me. And the judge charged me with 3 charges. That I tried to make revolution against the Egyptian government. I don't know what revolution. That I tried to change the official religion of Egypt from Islam to Christianity. And the last charge, that I love and I worship Christ. And I would tell you, Pastor, what I told the judge at this time. I told him, if loving and worshiping Christ is wrong, I don't want to be right anymore. And if loving and worshiping him is a crime, I'm guilty as charged.
Mm. That's amazing. Was there something about the persecution, the punishment you received in prison that strengthened you all the more? I mean, you seem to not have lost your courage. If anything, it seems to have grown. What was it about that experience?
How, if you are in my place, Pastor, and you saw 3 dogs stop attacking you, trained dogs. He died for me, and I will live and I will die for him. That's all what I have to say.
It's amazing, brother. So were you sentenced to die?
I was sentenced to death penalty. They put me in the house arrest again after 4 hours before they transfer me to the prison where the death penalty will take place. My team that I raised attacked the home. There was a fight between them and the Egyptian police, and I was able to escape from Cairo to Alexandria. I hide behind the police station. It's called Fushi police station. Why behind police station? Because this is the last place that the police would try to find you. So the house arrest where I was, there was 5 officers or soldiers, 2 inside the house, 2 outside, and 1 on a roof. So they came, and there was a machine gun battle happened between them. Nobody was killed, but I was able to escape during this time, and they was able to help me. I went to Alexandria. I had behind the police station, and after that I escaped to Sinai. During this time, the Egyptian police put my pictures in every TV and every newspaper, and they had a prize for my life. And I think my first prize was £500,000 Egyptian pound. At the time was like 100,000 American dollar. I don't know how much it is now, because it get bigger if they don't arrest you. And I will not say it in the broadcast because I have a feeling that the people in financial difficulties, I won't try to hunt me down. I'm joking, but anyway.
So that's still an active warrant?
That's
what we
correct.
call it, a warrant here.
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct. But I don't know how much it reached today.
What mode of transportation did you use to get away?
So in Alexandria, so my team prepared a way to go to Alexandria. And after that, from Sinai, I skipped Sinai because I had to leave the country. I am on the blacklist, so I cannot go through the airport. So the only way is to escape through the borders in Israel. So I monitored the border between Egypt and Israel, and there is 2 military boats always standing against each other. One is Egyptian and one Israeli, and they're protecting the border. So I went and I stole jet ski. Now, many of the people that listening to us right now, they will say, but you are a man of God, you are reverend. How could you steal a jet ski? I stole the jet ski and I enjoyed it. And I waited until 5:30 p.m., which is me and the sun behind me. And between the 2 boats, if you cross like this, we'll shoot you. If you cross from here, they will shoot you. So what I did, I crossed between them. So when the Israelis and the Egyptians aimed at me to shoot me, they discovered that they're actually facing each other. It's called crossfire. So they couldn't. By the time they withdrew, I reached the another side. And today, when you go to Eilat, true story, today when you go to Eilat, you found the 2 boats standing away from each other. It was because my escape, they changed the system of the security.
Wow.
It's the truth.
You made your mark.
It's amazing.
How long a jet ski ride was that?
3
from
minutes,
coast
3
to
minutes,
coast?
3 minutes exactly.
Oh, wow.
From
Close.
Taba,
Okay, I'm
from
trying to
Hilton
picture it.
Taba to Princess Hotel in Eilat, yes.
Okay. So you land in, this was Israel territory, I guess,
That's
right?
correct.
When you land?
That's correct. I surrendered to the Israeli authority during this time because Israel and Egypt have a peace agreement, Camp David. So the Israelis cannot accept refugees coming out of Egypt. So they didn't know what to do, so they put me in prison until Amnesty International and the UN take a decision about my case. The UN and Amnesty investigated the story. Yes, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Did you have a different experience in the Israeli jail than you had back in Egypt?
I was in the Israeli prison for 1 year, 3 months, 15 days, 12 hours, 23 minutes.
Wow.
You count the minutes when you are innocent, man. Prison is not fun, but nobody was torturing me, if that's what you mean. But I will tell you, before I leave the prison, 2 officers, 2 guards, and 1 criminal came to the Lord before I leave this prison. And maybe I was in the prison, but I was the one is free, and they was the one prisoner.
That's just New Testament stuff, man. I mean, half the stuff written in the New Testament was written from prison cells, and it's just where the gospel does its best. And I mean, you've seen that. I've never seen anything like that firsthand, but it's amazing to hear a modern day testimony like that.
People think that the miracles only happen in the Bible. He's the same God yesterday and today and tomorrow. The difference here, Pastor, persecuted Christians, let's talk about persecuted. You have 1 persecuted Christian every 3 minutes worldwide. Between 200 to 300 million persecuted Christians worldwide. And our church doesn't even remember them. But the problem here is there is miracles happening all around us, but we're living in a comfort zone. There is the world divided to 2 zones, conflict zone and a comfort zone. And the more that you're in a conflict zone, you see God's miracle. You understand you understand what is persecution. You understand how the church was built on the blood of the martyrs. But when you are in a comfort zone, You count on your credit card, your bank account, and your car and your vehicle, and you count on your aeroplanes, and you count on your suits and your seats. And when you're in the conflict zone, you're holding the fire in your hand. That's why I always tell people, don't underestimate persecution. Christians like nails, the harder you hit them on the head, they go deeper and deeper and deeper. So never underestimate the gift of persecution.